Breakfast with Cobb Colvin.
Trickstar Radio.
Just gone 8:30 here on Trickstar Radio. We're in the building with Devious. How are you doing this morning, sir? You all good?
Yes, all good.
Good stuff. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. Again, thank you for making the trip down. I know it's a little bit of a way out. How long is it from Bournemouth to Brighton?
God, it was about 2 hours. Yeah, it was about 2 hours drive. Yeah, not with the stops as well. So yeah.
Long.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. You know what it is? That's what we're here to do.
Definitely.
We're here to promote releases like this very attractive looking vinyl we have here. So before we jump into this specifically, I want to kind of look at the layout of to Yam over there as well, showing the camera the different.
Jan's just coming to the building, right? For anyone who can't see.
So yeah, I want to kind of talk about the layout of the label now. Like, how did the project first come together? What was the thing that inspired you to first put together Escape?
Well, I'd say before Escape, I was running my previous label, Sublo Audio, and it clicked to me after running for about a year that I've made all my mistakes in this, and now I've made all my mistakes, I want to start fresh and not make any mistakes, have the continuity, and push forward something that I can be properly proud with. So I think after stopping Sublo, I moved on just thinking about making a new label, and that's when I turned around to my mate, obviously Dunman and Vexy. We got chatting, and we were there like, what, we want to start a label, do something grime, and it took us a couple, 4 or 5 months to get the name, get the what it looks like, the whole ethos of the company. But now, so we started in January, and we've been pushing it since January now. I'm completely happy with how it's come out at the moment. It's a completely step up from my last game, and I'm happy the way it's gone. So.
I think as well, when you kind of look at the label, I was saying this earlier, I see you guys around a lot. Around the internet and stuff, so it's clear that you're pushing in the right directions, if you know what I mean. Because if as like a 140 fan, if the stuff's like hitting people like doorsteps if it's hitting my doorstep and that it's arriving for myself and obviously Marauder in the building as well. If it's hitting our sort of doorsteps and we're seeing it pop up, then you're obviously targeting the right people, and it's kind of like and it's going the right way. Like how did you decide on the kind of like the ethos of the label then? Because it's obviously a very uniquely sounding area of grime.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was very hard. Don't get me wrong. We went through mad amount of different designs, different colours, and all this stuff. Do we want to do 2D, 4D, futuristic style? It went on for months, and we really couldn't decide. But eventually, we all stuck on the whole 4D style. I mean, we don't really feel like a lot of people are pushing that at the moment. Obviously, you got the people up in Glasgow and stuff like Liquid Ritual and stuff are pushing that, and they're doing really well with it. So with them being more wave style, we want to try and do a whole grime sort of sense, whole 140. It was very hard to get to the sense, but our designer Jordan Chappell, he's top notch what he does. As I said, he's been all over the place for doing his design work, and it was properly, I think it was mainly down to him with this type of style we're going for. I said we make music and we run the whole thing, but Jordan's a very design-wise type of guy, and I prefer to just leave things up with him because he's got a much better imagination when it comes to us. So that's why I think it was a whole idea of doing a 4D stuff, but Jordan he comes up with it a lot for himself, and I think we leave it to him because he knows his style and what he wants to do.
Okay, so what have you found to be first for how many people are involved?
So it's me, Devious, and we got Dunman, and we got Vexy, and that's us three, and then our designer is Jordan Chappell. So it's a four-man team. Yeah, basically.
Putting together a project. And what have you found the kind of hardest hurdle in regards to setting up a label project? What was the thing that this new label project? Obviously, you've come from having a lot of experience setting up your own thing and then coming together with new people. What have you found? Like, what was the thing where you were like, oh no, what's the first thing?
Yeah, that's hard. I would say it's probably been that vinyl release. That's the thing that really got me quaking in my boots. Actually.
Okay, so let's talk through it then. Obviously, it's a beautiful looking thing.
Cheers.
Obviously it comes in all the wrapping and nice stuff like that. I'm going to show the camera there. You can see very attractive thing. I'm doing lots of stuff pointing at the cameras these days, I got to say. But yeah, it looks really nice.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
The layout of everything looks nice. The colour scheme's awesome as well. So how much goes into putting a vinyl together then? Run me through the sort of like steps of putting together a vinyl.
I mean, we've been planning this for about five months now, I'd say, and it's artwork's one thing, getting the tracks is one thing, and then getting into the company to actually pressing them is one other thing, and then it's another 6 week process after that, and it's in between that you've got to work about doing pre-orders, getting up online, and then making sure that you sell them to the pre-order time when you get them as well, because obviously it's only an estimated time that you get them through. There's so many factors you have to take in, and it's very it's very hard to wrap your head around if you haven't done it before. But luckily we came through fine. We had a few hiccups and every now and again, but after that, it rolled on, and now we've got them through. I'm really glad we've done it. But yeah, I'd say that the hardest thing about it is just the process of just setting it up and then giving that money over for something you're going to get back in about 8 weeks' time.
Yeah, of course.
It's very, very hard.
It just sounds so nerve-wracking.
It is.
The entire way through. I'd just be there. It sounds the same as doing events for me, because you're splashing out all this kind of capital basically on getting this product here, and you're so reliant on like 4 or 5 different parties all aligning at the same time. Just the thought of it.
It is.
But then you do get something looking as beautiful as this that comes out of it. So it's so shiny. Looking at this as a vinyl head, this is something that I feel that if I was to scroll through, I'd immediately look at it and go, ooh.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of look about it. I mean, a lot of people kind of go for the kind of just white label kind of approach, just like a plain skin or whatever.
Yeah, no, we love that. So I'm always for the white labels. I just feel that, I don't know, I feel a lot of people are going for the whole the niche market of being really like mysterious, white label, not much labels and that stuff, which is, it's all good in games, but I think it's just taking the whole point of what vinyls used to be, which is the artwork, having something like Malibu in your hand that you can hold.
It's a product. There's a story behind this. You can tell there's like 6 or 7 people that have put their input into this thing that you're holding in your hand. That's almost like the romanticism of vinyl. At the end of the day, that's something that I think people like to hold on to.
I mean, I love it, but I feel like the magic goes a bit if you're just holding a blank white vinyl and you've got no artwork, you don't know what it is, and you're having to hold up in the light to see the scratching or what the actual vinyl is. The amount of times I've done that whilst playing, I don't know what I'm actually playing because it's a white.
I mean, on this sort of discussion, is cutting vinyl something you're kind of interested in, is regarding like cutting your own like personal cuts? Or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've had 1 or 2 cut myself, but it's one of those things where I'm from, Bournemouth. You don't get a lot of vinyl players. You don't get a lot of like old analog players sort of thing. Yeah. So to have a vinyl set out above is unheard of. You know what I mean? And to be able to play that out somewhere else where obviously you're not heard of, it's very hard to. So
it's almost quite difficult to like justify it. I suppose
it's very hard to justify.
Go splash 50 on 4 tunes that I'm only going to be able to play like once or twice a year.
Exactly.
It does kind of rack up, doesn't it? Wow.
No, it does. And as much as like you buy a couple of hundred, it's going to cost you a fair bit. But like you buy 1 or 2, it's going to cost you it's 50, 60 quid for like one press, and it's quite a lot for just one press.
I think it is. It's a lot of money, and I think people don't really take this into account when people go, "Oh, I remember when DJs were all vinyl DJs." Yeah, so do I. I remember when they weren't like 10 quid a pop.
Yeah, they had to carry their like 10 kilo bag around with.
You know what? Funny story is, I've got one of my shoulders is higher than the other. Trust me, there's a thing behind this. One of my shoulders is higher than the other, and I used to think because it's the shoulder that's lower is the shoulder I used to carry my vinyl bag on. I used to think it's because my vinyl bag was so heavy, like it's like lopsided me. Turns out it wasn't, but yeah. just to amplify like how heavy vinyl bags actually are.
It's just too much. Yeah, as I said, I got a mate. He does like doing vinyl only, and he takes his bag around with him, and I look at it like, have fun with that, mate.
Yeah, have fun. I mean, have you played vinyl out?
Not as much, no. It's, as I said, it's very tricky from where I'm from, unless I'm doing like a radio station and stuff, where you have to bring your own needles.
That's pretty standard. That's pretty standard.
That is pretty standard. To say, unfortunately, I don't have my own needles to bring at the moment. So it's one of those things. So yeah, it's hard. Like I would love to play vinyls out, and I would. If I could, and then the situation unfortunately in Bournemouth is that nobody plays vinyls out. It's very as I said, commercial house, jump up on your CDJs, and that's how it is. So until we start getting bookings elsewhere, that's I
think the thing about this that needs to be kind of praised is the fact that you are still pushing on and doing it, regardless of the fact that there isn't the kind of like bass scene there for you to do it. You are going, right, we're going to crack on and do this anyway.
Well, that's
that for me is the sort of thing that does deserve a lot of praise. To go, like, there isn't the scene here, we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That DIY attitude is kind of what changes the change. That's what starts things. That's what starts definitely movements and changes the game. We're going to jump into another tune next. This one is, if I'm reading it correctly off the back of here, XYZ, unless that's a very bizarre pronunciation I'm not aware of.
It's it's XYZ. No,
XYZ. Featuring Rapture 4D. We're going to jump into this one next. Give me a 5-second introduction to this one.
So sorry, I didn't realise it was coming from me. no, this was from Rapture 4D and Folo. They work together. It's a sick tune. It's another wave tune. It's the second track on the EP. So yeah, hope you like it. It's
good stuff. Right then, just gone 20-9 here on Trickstar Radio. Don't go anywhere. Devious is in the building with me.
Waking up Brighton.
Breakfast with Cobb Colvu.